17 people were killed and dozens injured in Nepal after protests erupted over a social media ban. Protesters stormed the parliament complex in the country's capital after lawmakers issued bans on platforms that had failed to register and allow for government oversight. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call is following the story for us from the CBS News Broadcast Center. And Chanel, what is the latest on all of this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tension and anger around that social media ban, Mugo. A really fluid situation in Nepal's capital city, Kathmandu, today. I want to show you some video from the scene so you can see the real size and scope of these protests. We're talking about tens of thousands of people that took part in this, many of them young people in the country. And they were seen, Mugo, pushing through barbed wire, pushing through barricades, and then storming the Nepalese parliament building. Now, at first, police were there. They tried to fire tear gas, they used water cannons, but they were simply outnumbered by this massive crowd there. Eventually, they had to resort to using force, the commissioner's office says, opening fire at some of those protesters. So we know, latest count, that at least 17 people were killed and 145 people were wounded in those clashes, Mugo. That also includes 28 police officers. So what's happening here? Well, at issue is the Nepalese government's decision to now block a lot of social media platforms in the country. That's what these people are protesting against. Now, some in the crowd were actually heard chanting, "Stop the ban on social media, stop corruption, not social media." So the government is saying that it sent about 24 social network platforms that are used in Nepal notices last week that what they had to do was now register their companies in the country and also submit to some government oversight. The government is saying they're doing this to sort of safekeep social media companies. TikTok, Viber, and 3 other platforms we know did do that. They did comply with those notices. So right now, they are still available in Nepal. But the companies that did not do this, including Facebook, X, and YouTube, those have now been blocked. So this is all stemming from a bill that the government says is made to sort of ensure that social media platforms are, quote, properly managed, responsible, and accountable. That bill, Mugo, also includes asking those companies to now appoint some kind of liaison officer or a point person in the country. But critics are saying that this is actually sort of a tool for censorship. So again, the situation on the ground still very fluid, still very tense this hour. A lot of chaos around this. The government also now announcing a curfew around some key areas in the country, including, of course, the Parliament building and the presidential house.
All right, Chanel Call, thank you so much for helping us break down what's happening in Nepal. Appreciate your time today.